Hi, everyone, or I'm not sure if it's everyone or just one person grading this, but hi either way. I'm Andre Ludwig, and I'm going to present my research project on air pollution in the US and its effect on people's health. So, just to talk a bit about the purpose of the project, I'll start with the abstract here. Is that the purpose of this project was to identify the areas with highest air pollution in the US and identify a correlation between this air pollution and the occurrences of diseases known to be affected by air pollution, such as certain cardiovascular diseases and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. All right. So moving along with a bit, we had these were kind of the questions I kind of wanted to answer during the research project, which is basically what I already went through, but what areas in the US have a higher air pollution? How has air pollution changed over time? And do the rates of air pollution increase diseases and stuff like that? So the main way we did the methods, or I don't know why I said we, I did the method for research here. I used secondary data analysis on public sources from government agencies like the EPA and the CDC. I essentially took their county by county maps, and then I could see the air quality in county by county, and I could also see the disease rate by county, and then I could take out my findings and conclusions from there. So I'll show you a few images. This is air quality by state in 2024, I believe, and you can see like air quality index lower is better, so which ones had bad and which ones has pretty good air quality. And then this is the trend of air quality over time, which has been getting a lot better since 1990, especially because of the the environmental policies that have been put in place through many acts, mainly the Clean Air Act. Then this is the rate of heart diseases in 28 to 2020 by county. And then this one right here, if I remember, was for the COPD disease. There are a few states missing in this data set, but for the most part, we have a pretty good data set here, county by county. And then this one is for asthma with the same two states. I don't know why they're missing, but anyways. The findings I thought were actually pretty interesting. If you pay attention to the air quality index map, and then you see the disease rates. I was actually pretty surprised to see that air pollution doesn't have a strong correlation with these diseases, at least in the United States. It doesn't, not as strong as I expected to say at the least. You can definitely tell this if you look at, for example, northeastern states over here, which have pretty good air quality. They still have some pretty high incidence, not in heart disease, but they have pretty high incidence of COPD and high incidence of asthma. So that if there was a strong correlation, we wouldn't see this. And there's some states here that have low asthma but have relatively bad air quality to some other states, as you can try to remember. In this area here, it wouldn't be the same. Like that area had bad air quality, but most of the counties here were actually pretty reasonably well. So yeah, then I discussed these data. So I'll move up a bit because I'm past 3 minutes already. But the conclusion was basically that air pollution has generally decreased in the US over time, coming off of that second figure, and that air quality policies have worked because obviously if the air pollution has decreased over time, the environmental policies that were enacted with the Clean Air Safety Act have been proven effective. And it's honestly a pretty good example that we should keep using these environmental policies because they can have massive impacts and vastly improve environmental health. And then the other conclusion was what I talked about before, which is air quality didn't have a strong correlation with chronic pulmonary diseases or cardiovascular diseases in the United States. These are my references. Thank you for listening and watching.